Namaste and welcome to Lunch Date with Todd. I'm really excited to be here with you. Thanks for joining and Happy New Year. Hey, before we start, please share this experience with your friends for all those that you know who are a little stressed out and they could use some yoga to relax. Also, please subscribe to my YouTube channel so you can have a variety of these free classes and many other things that I post to get you informed about Ashaya Yoga. And this whole month of January, I'm running a special promotion to join the membership. You can join, and whenever you join, you can bring a friend for free. So this is going on until January 31st. So I hope you'll consider becoming a member, and then you'll be able to take classes with me twice a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays from 7:15 to 9. I do a meditation set first, and then we do some asana practice. But I'm so glad that you're here today. And I want to talk a little bit about the idea that the infinite is contained within the finite. And the highest purpose of the practice is this idea: how do we awaken to the universe within our own individual nature? And so much of the time we're stressed out and not at inner peace inside. And we get really caught in worrying and trying to control life and trying to control other people, which is never a really good idea. And then we get so stressed, we lose ourselves. And there's no way we can really find inner calm and inner peace without really learning how to release, how to let go of the stress. And yoga is a great experience to have and an exercise to help exactly with that, because it includes the breath, to let the breath flow in and out, and then a gentle toning of the muscles, getting a stretch in. This is all part of the practice. And one of the things that happens is we have what I like to call cosmic amnesia. As soon as we were born, we forget where we come from. And it takes usually a lifetime, maybe several lifetimes, to actually remember. The analogy I like to use is the ocean and the waves. So the waves are individual waves on the surface of the ocean. And that's like ourself. We're each like individual life waves. We have our own life, we have our trajectories, we have our likes and our dislikes. And many of the times we cut ourselves off from the ocean, which is the source of the wave, and we walk around as oceanless waves. So yoga is this process of knowing, and it's kind of easy to see in this analogy, that the ocean is what makes the wave. The ocean is in the wave. And so in that same way, the universe is in us as us. The ocean differentiates itself. It kind of separates itself out somewhat to be able to create an individual wave. And there are no two waves exactly the same. So out of this infinite source of the ocean, this infinite universal energy, it chooses out of its own delight, out of its own freedom, to separate itself from itself. Well, if you take a piece of infinite from an infinite domain, that little piece is also considered infinite, you know? So that's really this notion where we can wake up to this idea that source consciousness flows inside of us. Now, where is it? How do you find it? Well, in the practice of yoga and meditation too, it's always to be found in the threshold, which is another way of saying the place in the middle, between the opposites, between the extremes, between our thoughts, that little space between the breaths is called the madhya, or place in the middle. And it is really learning how to hug into that place in the middle with this longing to expand ourselves, to embrace the idea that you're not just a singular wave. I mean, you are that for sure, but that singular wave contains the vastness of all possibilities from the ocean. As we go through our life as individuals, we have to, make our separate decisions and all that. But when you do it from a place of deep calm, relaxation, and knowing that you are already whole and complete, that you are already connected to the source energy because it's in you as you. It's in your cells. You're already whole. There's nothing you need to add to be complete. And there's nothing you really need to take away, except when we get so locked into our fear. And we get so confused sometimes. We're just obsessed about worrying about what is coming in the future, which we can't know. We start making all these plans to, do things, and we set ourselves up for failure. So the idea in yoga is to return to the body, return to the breath, return to the present moment, because the body functions in present moment time. Only our mind has the capacity to regret the past or to worry about the future. We want to use our past as a way to extract the lessons to make our lives even happier, even greater, so that we can project a vision, a trajectory for our life that includes the totality of all three times, past, present, and future. So, all right, well, let's get started. Come up to a standing position. We're going to do some hip openers today. So, come stand. If you have a block, grab yourself a yoga block. You could also do this with a thick towel or even a blanket or a pillow that you really bunch up. You put it between your upper inner thighs like this. Stand with your feet absolutely parallel, front ankle and second toe lines, like two railroad tracks, as wide as your hip bones. And then lift all 10 toes and feel how the arches of the feet will lift up. Hug in toward the midline, the madhya, with this longing to remember again that we're connected to source. So hug in with remembrance, palms in front, and then move the block back. So you turn your thighs in, move your thighs back, stick your butt out, which generates a natural lumbar curve. And then keeping your thigh bones back, pull your tailbone in so your legs are straight. The greater trochanter, which is the top of the femur bone, is directly over your ankles. Then lift your heart, take your shoulders back, and inhale. Stretch all the way up. Now squeeze your arms, hug your arms toward the middle as well. And then exhale, lead with your heart, fold all the way down. Let go, surrender, allow the stretch to happen, and then lift your toes and hug in. Move your heels isometrically backwards with remembrance of the bigger energy. Surrender even more, but continue to hug in. Inhale, lift your heart. Allow your own individual life wave to express itself fully through you. And then exhale, surrender back into the depths of the ocean. Inhale, rise halfway, become the wave. The wave is like you create your destiny. Exhale, surrender to your fate. Fate is given to us, but destiny is what you do with it. So continue to hold a piece of the universal energy as you lift your heart halfway forward. Exhale down. Root your feet, sweep your arms out to the side. And as you root your feet down, rise all the way up. Look up. Exhale. Palms down, remove the block. And again, come to the front edge of your mat, feet parallel. Stretch your arms up. And with a nice deep exhalation, fold all the way down. Inhale, heart halfway. Exhale, left leg back, lunge. Hold the lunge. Hug to the midline. So in this position, because one leg is forward, one leg is back, it's a scissor action. So squeeze your legs like you're closing a scissor. The right heel pulls back, left hip comes forward. And then take your hands off the floor and balance. That's how much to hug in. Hug in with remembrance. And then try to float up, hands to hips. Inhale, stretch your arms up. Thigh bones back, especially the back leg. The left thigh goes up. Tailbone in, arch back. Enjoy the stretch. And then from your pelvic core, radiate first down through your feet into the earth, and then from the pelvis, rise up and just touch the vastness of the sky. We all come from the stars. All the elements are forged in stars. So we can say we are star babies because we're made of the 5 elements. Sweep your arms out to the side with remembrance and touch. Go back, downward facing dog pose. Bend your knees a lot. Hug your shins to the middle. Take your thighs back. Lift your sitting bones more. Get a low back curve. Then draw your tail in, ribs in. And from your heart, push straight down through your hands. And from your heart, push the base of your shins backwards. Good. Exhale, left foot forward. Lift your hands, squeeze your legs. Continue to hug in with remembrance. When you hug your muscles, you stabilize the joints. A lot of times if we have pain in our knees or our ankles or our hips, it's because the muscles aren't engaged enough or the glutes are weak. So you squeeze in, hands to hips. Everything solidifies and congeals in towards the midline. Then take your thigh bones back, right thigh up toward the sky, tail in. Reach. From your pelvic core, root your feet down. Bend just a bit more if you can. And from the pelvis, rise up, curl back. And as much as you hug in with remembrance of universal source, reach your own individual nature up to touch the sky. You are surrounded by vast and infinite possibilities. Embrace that. Exhale, sweep your arms down. Step back, plank. Bring your knees down to the floor. Slowly lower your heart. Stretch your toes back. Claw your finger pads and your roots. And inhale, come up into cobra. Pull your palms isometrically backwards. And that's going to make the shoulder blade muscles hug more. So squeeze your shoulder blades. It's the back of the heart. Onto the back ribs, lift your heart, take your palate back, head back. And then grow your thighs from your pelvis, push straight back through your toes. And from your pelvis, rise up more. Let yourself be now your individual life wave as you rise up out of the imaginary ocean. And express your connection to the bigger spirit, which always pulses and dances with joy. It evaporates, it dissolves the obstacles of doubt, unworthiness, fear, anxiety, and also regret. Let the light of the universe flow through you now. And then exhale, go to downward dog pose. Lunge your right foot forward, and this time lower your left knee. Put your right hand on your right leg and twist up to the right. Inhale. And then exhale. Release. Walk your left knee back another inch. And then walk your hands back. Stretch your right leg straight. A little tip. If you're not able to touch the floor, if you are hamstring challenged, then get 2 blocks and put your hands on the blocks. You could do the long spine side of the block on the floor. Okay? And this will make it a lot easier. Either way, root the right heel down and isometrically pull back toward the midline. Then root your right thigh toward the floor. Move it away from your ribs. Pull your tailbone in and bow. Enjoy your suffering. No, seriously, it should hurt good. It's a really deep stretch. Good, embrace it, hug into it. Hug in with remembrance of where the source is. Inhale, come up and twist both hands to the outside of the shin. And in this twisted position now, fold. Spread your toes. Continue to hug muscles to bones. Very deep, deep stretch here. Release. Bend the right knee. We'll step forward, Uttanasana, with the left leg, heart halfway forward. And then exhale, right foot back, lunge. Scissor your legs. Left hand on the left knee, twist. Take a nice deep breath in, lift your heart. Exhale, come back to center. And then walk your right knee back a couple of inches, grab your blocks. And left leg straight. Root the heel. The base of the left shin goes toward the floor more. Root the base of the shin. If you tend to hyperextend your knee, another little tip is you can put a block right underneath your calf as a little break. And that's going to help not to hyperextend the knee. And you'll see the stretch goes from under the knee, which we don't want the stretch under the knee, to more in the belly of the hamstring muscle. Okay. Draw your tail in, belly in, and bow. Spread your toes. And then come up part way. And you can still use your blocks if you need them. Twist both hands to the outside of the left leg and bow with a twist. And breathe. Nice deep breath. So locate where you feel the most amount of stretch and then breathe into that part of your body. Focus on the hug of muscle to bone with remembrance. And then surrender. When you exhale, just let go more. We release all that's not life-enhancing. We release what's in the way of us recognizing that we're already whole and complete. Inhale, come up. Bend your left knee and step your right foot forward. Root your feet down and come all the way up. Exhale, release, palms. Take a wide stance now. And bring your feet parallel. Stretch your arms out and try to gauge the distance of your feet. Set your ankles underneath your wrists. Maintaining that, square your left foot, turn your right foot open and squeeze, hug strongly, foot to foot. And then bend your right knee, bring your right forearm on your thigh, and take your left arm up and over. Bend your knee so it's directly perpendicular over your ankle, not beyond, but directly over. And then squeeze your legs with remembrance to the midline, that you are connected to the universal energy. Freedom expresses herself through boundaries, and you are the boundary the universe created. Thighs back, tailbone in. It differentiated you. It separated a piece of its infinite nature out into you, and you're still infinite. Pull your tailbone in more. The right hip crease goes back and down, and then shine out like a star from the pelvic core through your feet and from the pelvis through the fingers. Enjoy the stretch. Root your feet down, come up, hands to hips, square your feet. Keep the right foot now parallel to the short edge, left foot open. Hug your legs, forearm on your thigh, and just pause for a moment. Surrender, let go. Consider the idea that surrender actually means acceptance of what is as it is. You might be resisting something that's happening, not even know you're resisting it, but as soon as you surrender, you accept what is. We stop resisting life. We enter the flow of grace. Bend your knee more. Knee vertical over the ankle. Then with that, remember, squeeze your legs toward the middle, thighs back, tail in, right arm up and over. Good. Work your outer left hip crease back and down at the same time. Let your heart reach towards the source of infinite light, up toward the sun. from the pelvis radiate in all directions. You are the sun. Let those rays shine from pelvic core through your whole body. Radiate the knowledge that you are the universal and limited form, and breathe that through every cell. Root your feet. Inhale, come up, legs straight, hands to hips, walk it. Perfect. Fold, part way down, but then bend your knees, stick your butt way back behind you, and then stretch your arms up. Utkatasana, fierce pose. We get fiercely connected to remembrance. Just allow your breath to flow the universe in and out. Hug your shins strongly to the middle, but widen your thighs, widen your sitting bones. Shins in, thighs wide. Good, you're gonna feel this in your legs and also in the glutes, the butt muscles, which are so important to maintain tone. They help us walk and sit and strengthen our knee joints and pelvis. And then root your feet down. Inhale, come up. Exhale. Release. Okay, that's a good workout. We'll do 2 hip openers now. So come onto all fours and then glide your right foot to the left of center between your hands and lower your right knee toward the floor. Your left knee can come all the way down. So right knee out to the right. Work now your left hip forward more. Left toes curled under. And this is too much stretch for your hip. Just pull your foot closer to your hip. All right. Otherwise, try to maintain your shin parallel to the floor. Flex your right foot and then put your left hand into the sole of the foot. And now push your foot into your hand. And that little push widens the sitting bones. You know it's working because you also feel sensation as your eyes move towards the sides of your face. Kidding. But it's quite an amazing stretch. Your eyeballs will grow larger. Then pull your tailbone in and fold. Yes, fold. Root the pelvis toward the earth now and push straight back from pelvis to left big toe ball out. Inhale, come up, go back to downward dog pose. Yeah, feel the stretch. And then left leg to the right of center, left knee toward the floor. Bring your right knee all the way down. And we come to the shin parallel position, or decrease the angle of it is fine. And then right hand into the sole of the left foot and push. Work your right hip forward more, but push back through the right big toe ball mound. Right knee stays down. Tail in, push your foot. You'll feel some sensation in the sitting bones. When you push your foot enough, you have to really give it a good push. The sitting bones widen. Tail in, fold. Breathe in to the sensation. If it hurts, it should hurt good, no sharp pain. There's no need to push and make ourselves suffer. There's enough suffering already. But we do want to play the edge just a bit and then breathe into the edge and soften the edge with your breath. It's a beautiful experience where we transform the stress and pain in the body to flow and more freedom. Good. Release. Downward dog. Bend your knees. Sit on your heels. Finish with one more. Okay, this is a big one. Gomukhasana, cow facing pose. So you have to elevate your hips, most people. So if your hips are wide open, try it without, but you want to have a block ready. or a folded blanket. And you come onto all fours and then cross your right knee in front. Bring your knees as close together as you can. Widen your feet. And then stick your butt out. In and rotate your thighs as much as possible. Put the blanket or the block underneath your hips as needed. And try to place the blanket under both sitting bones and sit. Try to keep your tongue inside your mouth. That's why they call it cow face, because your tongue is going to stick out quite a bit because it's very intense. So that's why if you elevate your hips, it'll be a little bit easier. Put the hands on the soles of your feet. Sit more upright. Tailbone pulls in. And then you just breathe. We want the right sitting bone to eventually release toward the floor. And then fold forward. If you want more stretch, I call it bus stop yoga. You get off at your stop. If you can go to the next bus stop, fold forward. If not, back off. And then inhale, come up, twist to the right, bring your left hand across the right knee. You're going to turn thumb down and push. Even though the thumb is down, try to externally rotate the left shoulder. Keep your left shoulder back. Inhale, rise up, right hand behind you in eagle talons or on a block, and then exhale and twist. Inhale, rise. Exhale, twist, shoulders back. Hug into the vertical midline with remembrance. Remembrance that we are the embodiment of the universe inside of our individual nature. We get little glimpses of that. And when you do hug in with remembrance, your heart opens and you recognize your true nature, which truly is joy and wonder and delight. And then inhale, come back to center, switch sides. If you come onto your knees again, uncross, recross with left knee on top. As you go back now, stick your butt back, rotate your thighs, and bring your hips down to the floor. And breathe. Hip openers are so good to do. And this one in particular, we tend to skip this pose a lot in the sequence, but it's very, very effective, especially with hips elevated. Now, breathe into your left sitting bone and try to melt tension with the breath and allow the left sitting bone to descend toward the floor. You have to soften the lower left side of your belly, even release expectations. And in this state of being, you tap into the freedom from the universal energy and the hip starts to go down. But the more stress we feel, the body stores stress in the joints. So sometimes the hips are just so locked up because we've forgotten how to surrender. So hug in with remembrance and let go. Fold forward, keep your tailbone in, enjoy the stretch. Try to keep your tongue inside your mouth. Or you could do the authentic cow stretch. It looks kind of like this. Breathe. And then we'll come into the variation of twist, left hand behind. Bring your right hand over the knee. Wrist is just above the knee, but thumb down and externally rotate your right shoulder. The upper arm externally rotates. Inhale, hug vertical midline with remembrance. And then exhale, twist. Inhale, rise higher. Exhale, twist. Now on this side, as your heart goes around to the left, draw your belly toward the right. So move the low belly area from left to right and anchor the right side of your belly into the right hip. And that creates a wonderful contralateral movement that allows the heart to resist and pull against the right side of the belly to go even further. Shoulders back. One more breath. Inhale back to center and release. Very good. Come on to your back and pull your knees into your chest. And then generate a low back curve. So just move your knees back until you put weight on the sacrum. The low back lumbar comes off the floor just a little bit, maybe just 1 or 2 millimeters. Keeping the curve, place your feet down on the floor and then stretch right leg, stretch left leg. Arms by your sides, palms up. Take one more deep breath in. And then as you exhale, surrender your muscles. Let the muscles melt away from the bones. Bones descend. And the head of your arm bones descend toward the floor. Relax your feet, your legs, your hips. Relax your lower back, your rib cage, your shoulders, palms. And then relax your jaw, cheeks, and eyes. Relax your whole body now. Whole body. And like a wave on the ocean, allow your individual wave to settle and return to the ocean, to become nourished, rejuvenated, refueled, refilled with the life force energy. The energy of the universe is filled with infinite self-refueling energy, self-regenerating, continuously full, life-giving, and available. Take the last few seconds to dwell in the remembrance of the universal, the infinite within your finite form. Receive it, cherish it, dwell in it. And now as you're ready, gradually return. Slowly draw your knees in towards your chest. Roll to the right side. Come up to a seated position and sit comfortably. Get something to sit on, like a blanket. Sit with your spine tall, and then close your eyes. Focus on your body with remembrance. Draw in toward the midline, from skin to muscle, from muscle to bone, and then draw into the heart, which is the center of the center. The spiritual heart is in the place in the middle. in the threshold where your finite and infinite nature meet, where your human and divine energy meet, where the measurable and the immeasurable come together. And in this place in the middle, deep in the heart, there's peace, there's calm, all is well. Affirm that you are already whole and complete as you are, and that everything in life is for our awakening. May we continue to remember our connection to Source and bring this calm energy with us into our daily lives and everything that we do, so that our experience of being a wave is sourced and bathed in the energy of infinite possibility. Now bring your two palms together as one. One hand the infinite, one hand the finite. And let them touch and merge as one in front of the heart. And from this place of unity, consciousness, let's send out a prayer for peace to our loved ones, friends, communities, and all over the world. And to anchor this unity consciousness in the cells of our body, let's chant the universal sound of Om. Om. Namaste. Thank you so much for your practice. Hope to see you again sometime. Please share this experience with your friends. Come subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet to my channel, so we can connect more of the time. You get notices of when I'm teaching live. And do consider taking advantage of the promotion for the membership. When you join, you get to bring a friend for free. That goes until January 31st. So thank you so much. Have a great rest of your day. Namaste.